the start of the year, if you said the word biscuits, my mind would immediately turn to food. You know, crispy, fluffy Popeyes biscuits, but that's no longer the case. When I hear the word biscuit now, my mind immediately turns to the Biscuit ecosystem on the Biscuit Pro and Biscuit Ultra. Now, I love these devices a lot, and believe it or not, there's a DIY variant, and so many people recently have been asking, how do I DIY my own biscuit? And there's a couple of different ways, and it's actually expandable. And what I mean by that is, depending on the dev board that you choose, you can add a battery, an SD card, and even an external antenna. Now, if you're new to this channel, how's it going? I'm your pal Cal, and today we're gonna be showing you how you can DIY your own biscuit. To flash the DIY Biscuit firmware, you're gonna need yourself an ESP32C5, and there are a few prerequisites, as not all C5s are built the same. You need at least 8 megabytes of flash memory, so unfortunately the M5 Stack C5 stamp and I wanna say the new C5 Super Mini, they don't count. They come with 4 megabytes, and while that might be good for a cluster, it won't work for the DIY variant. There are 4 officially supported boards: the Xiao ESP32C5, which comes with 8 megabytes of flash memory, the ability to attach an external antenna, onboard battery management, and it's a small form factor. You can also use the Waveshare ESP32C5 dev kit, which has also onboard battery management, but with a 1.25mm JSD connector for you to actually attach a battery to. And there's a couple of different STLs, like the Wavy Biscuit by a really awesome maker by the name of Nico, who 3D modeled something for you to put your ESP32C5 dev kit, add a switch, add a battery, and have a compact, discrete biscuit device to go. You can also use the C5 dev kit by Espressive, which is the official Espressive dev kit. Has all the pins that you could possibly want. There is no onboard battery management like you might find on a Xiao and a Wavy Biscuit, but it's still one of the best C5s, especially on the fact that it comes with 16 megabytes of flash memory, and it's kind of the standard. The last option is what a lot of people choose to use, which is the LilyGO T-Dongle C5. Now, while there might be a way for you to attach an external antenna, they're not UFLs. I think UFL4, I forgot the exact term for that specific antenna connector, but it has an SD card slot on the face, and there's a display which up until recently had no support, but now displays the Biscuit logo image. And while I like the fact that it's a small, compact thumb drive size design that you can just power into anything and have access to the Biscuit firmware on the fly, I would totally suggest the Seed Studios Xiao C5, as there are so many projects that you can build around it, and at any given time, well, it's still a very useful ESP. Like all ESP32s, we got a boot and reset button on every single microcontroller except for the T-Dongle C5. The boot button is right there in the middle, and it is in fact clickable. What we want to do is use a cable that carries data. That's kind of one thing that we need to do. And if you're using a Windows PC, you want to make sure you download the ESP32 drivers, the CP210X drivers from Silly-Lab that I've linked in the description. Now, this is biscuitshop.us, and they do have a Biscuit Pro and a Biscuit Ultra, the official Biscuit devices, as well as the CYD battery board. We've done a video on all 3 of these devices. But in the Biscuit Shop website, you can see a full-blown wiki where you can access and troubleshoot and go through every single one of the devices, as well as understanding the different features and tools that you have within the Biscuit firmware. Or we can go back real quick and hit DIY Biscuit, and here you'll find a bunch of resources as well as links to every dev board and every device that's compatible. But if you look right here, we also got the flasher.biscuitshop.us website, which takes us right over here. Now, sometimes you're in the wrong section, so you gotta hit switch device and make sure that you're in the Biscuit and not CYD flasher. These are 2 different flashers. We're gonna hit Biscuit right there, and it doesn't matter which ESP32C5 that you got, as long as it has over 8 megabytes of flash memory. In my case, I'm holding a LilyGO T-Dongle C5, and I'm going to hold down the boot button, and I'm gonna plug it into my USB drive right here. And then I'm gonna keep holding the boot button, press connect, and we don't know what COM port I'm in, so yep, I'm 56. So now we're gonna click right there, connect, and give it a second. We can click select board. Now, even though these are the supported devices, if you have a C5 device, any C5 device, I'm talking about Flipper Zero GPIO board or a WaveShare ESP32C5 display, you can flash any C5 as long as it has over 8 megabytes of flash memory. Now, you also have custom boards, like right here, you have the AWOC Dual C5 and Dual C5 Mini that allows you to use the Marauder firmware on the display and the Biscuit firmware that's supposed to be designated for the Flipper Zero. But in this case, we're going to just focus on DIY Biscuit, and we're going to hit T-Dongle C5. And right there, we're going to hit the version, current, and program. It's going to take about I want to say 30 seconds, but after that, you're good to go. Now, once again, if you are using Windows, you can head over to espterminator.com, and if you go to help right over here, you'll find the Windows drivers right in the middle. Now, if you're using Windows or Linux, you're pretty much good to go. You are making the right decision. But if you're on Windows, it is a tad bit tricky, but you only got to do it once, and after that, you don't really got to worry about it. You want to click the Silicon Labs CP210X official last upload, and we're going to hit this, and it's just going to automatically download the driver file, and the WCH CH340 and 341 is over here as well. If we go over here, you get this generic WCH website, and you can click the CH341 SER zip, extract the folder, and install the driver. Now that your DIY Biscuit is flashed, you're going to have to download yourself the Biscuit Manager app. The Biscuit itself interfaces with the Biscuit Manager app. That way, you have a full assortment of tools, and all you need to do is make sure that your Biscuit is plugged in or is wired up to a proper power supply. To download the Biscuit Manager app, you're going to have to go to the Google Play Store or the official iOS App Store. And once you go in there, we're going to go to Search, go to the top, and search up Biscuit Manager. Right over there should be one of the first 3 options. And at the top, we're going to hit Install and give it about 30 seconds and it'll be good to go. To war drive with your DIY Biscuit, you want to enable location services, press allow, that way it can connect to nearby devices, and allow for it to send you notifications just in case you want to be alerted when you're in the presence of Axon body cameras, flock cameras, or any custom MAC address that you'd like. It's asking us to add a new device, so let's power up one of these biscuits. I've plugged in the WaveShare DIY Biscuit, and it comes up as an actual WaveShare dev board. Each dev board that is officially supported is basically going to have its own icon, but right there it says Firmware C5 Update. You're going to have to put in your Wi-Fi SSID and password and update your device. That way you have access to the newest features. The update process for a DIY Biscuit is really simple, and it doesn't really even take that long. It'll connect to Wi-Fi, download, and currently it's in the middle of installing. Afterwards, it'll verify, and we're pretty much good to go. There's a lot of ESP32 custom firmware that give you the ability to conduct Wi-Fi and Bluetooth scans, as well as attacks to be able to stress test and find vulnerabilities on your own network, and there's a really nice counter surveillance aspect to these devices as well. But because of the nature of the firmware, this video is for educational purposes only. Remember to only test your own hardware. Do not test networks or devices or anything that you do not have explicit permission to test on. Follow all local laws. I don't condone any illegal activity, and don't be a skid. I understand that a lot of people like the T-Dongle C5 because it has an SD card slot, and some people like it for the display. Now, although having an SD card is nice, as you can save your war drive logs and a lot more straight to the SD card, I personally like the Xiao C5 because it can really bring out the creativity of creating your very own DIY biscuit. What we're about to do is solder on an SD card module, which is relatively inexpensive. You can grab one for like 50 cents to $1, or sometimes they have 5 packs for $1, and we're going to attach a switch and a battery. Now, parts don't really even break the bank. If you wanted a 5-pack of toggle switches, they cost $1.50. And if you have an old vape laying around or something that you know for a fact has a pretty decent battery in it, I extracted this from one of my old vapes, and it's 650 milliamps and it's small enough for me to put in almost anything I need. And at 650 milliamps, that's enough for a C5 to last almost a day. My Xiao came with headers, and although that kind of annoys me because I don't really like using headers on my Xiao unless I'm absolutely sure that I'm going to put it on something, as there are a lot of different projects that just use the castellated edges. You can use DuPont cables and hook them up to an SD card module, or you can solder them straight to the board. We're going to be soldering on the switch and the battery to the pads that are on the bottom of the Xiao. The SD card module itself is really simple. We want to wire 3.3 to 3.3 ground to ground and then follow the diagram in the picture right over here. I know that's like a horrible example, but they're really easy to trace. For example, if we trace CS right over here, which is let's get that to focus right there, the second pin, that blue wire goes to the first pin, which is right here at the very end of the jowl. And basically, wiring this whole thing together is really easy and really comprehensive and can teach you a lot about wiring SPI modules like this SD card. Mind you, you can always breadboard this entire DIY build, and you can 3D print an array of different enclosures. I went with a toggle switch because I personally really like toggle switches. I don't know why. This is satisfying to me. You can click right here, Jowl Biscuit, give it a second, and it'll connect. Now, there are a few new features here in the Biscuit Manager app. For example, if we go to Settings, right, that's the terminal, and we scroll down, we'll find a tab that says Progression. If we hit Progression, we can enable XP. That way, the more we ward drive and the more we use our Biscuit, the more we level up. Under the Settings tab, you'll find ward driving APIs. You can add your Wiggle API name, token, WDG Wars token, and there's Wardrift Beta, which is a new, I think it's an RPG ward driving game that we'll be showcasing later on the channel, hopefully sometime soon. Under Wi-Fi, you have sniffing, attacks, and of course, scanners. But under Bluetooth, you also have scanning and attacks. One of the newest features that I think is pretty cool, we showcased it on the Nyan box, is AirTag Spoof, as it's now available in the Biscuit Manager app and on Marauder. If we go to Miscellaneous, we have Mesh Recon, Flock Detection, where it's literally just flock detection, and Drone Detection. If you really want to up the ante for counter surveillance while you're ward driving, we can go to Notifications over here, and we can get an alert anytime it detects a flock camera, anytime it detects meta glasses, that way you're not caught off guard, and of course, Axon body cameras. As with all good ideas, there's always clones, but with nothing but an ESP32C5, you can have a full wireless security, counter surveillance, and ward driving toolkit, all for like $7. And the application is refined and updated almost every single week, sometimes twice a week. And with the added features that are coming out really soon and some new hardware, there's a lot of good things in store. If you're interested in snagging yourself an actual Biscuit, that way you can cluster ward drive with a whole bunch of nodes, you can find the Biscuit Pro, Biscuit Ultra, and soon to be Biscuit Crumb at biscuitshop.us. And all of the links for the flashers, as well as the dev kits, and all of the devices that we went over, all of the microcontrollers, they're all linked down below as well, and none of them break the bank, and they're not affiliate links, they're just links. Also, the ESP32C5 dev kits, you can literally grab any C5 dev kit, once again, as long as it has over 8 megabytes of flash memory. And Waveshare recently dropped a 32 megabyte dev kit, which is awesome. I like how we're getting a lot more flash memory in microcontrollers without absolutely breaking the bank. And we'll be going over some cool stuff really soon. So if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing, because we go over different stuff all the time, my guy. I love your face. We'll see you next time.